Saturn is at the 29th degree of Pisces. And what this is about is closing up the karmic lessons of the impulse of fear, guilt, shame, incompetence. Anything that clouds the subconscious, anything that haunts the subconscious. It's about closing out those lessons, which looks like finding the courage to accept the command and authority over that house, the 12th house. That we are in control of it. That we do have the power to become more aware of it. And we get to decide what form every impulse of the 12th house is going to take into our reality. No longer falling victim to our own insistence of being a victim to circumstance, addictions, escapism, or whatever else we use to pacify ourselves in the sadness and depression of lack, missed opportunity, failure, losses, everything else, because we were too afraid to be alive, too afraid to be who we know we're supposed to be. We should anticipate the 0 and the 1st degree of Aries. This is where we get in the preparation to walk in that authority of the authentic identity. Saturn teaches authority as it passes through a house, as it passes through a sign. So now that we have identified who we are, it's time to walk in infamy with who we are in that authority. Taking all the smoke that comes with it, going uphill with it, running down the battlefield with it, bombs blowing off, guns shooting, smoke in the air, and everything else, where you still hold on to who you are, or where you, out of fear, let go of it. Throw it aside, hide. Saturn is where we learn to hold that football and bust through the line. In Aries, you're the running back. Saturn is where you bet not drop that football. And the football is your identity. You gonna get hit. No, it's not gonna be easy, but you better not drop that identity. Uranus is gonna line you up with a reality that allows you to fulfill the meaning behind your identity. But we should have learned enough not to allow fear or guilt or any traumas of the 12th house to cause us to sell our soul, to sell our mission, to swap destinies with others, or to fall into addictions instead of showing courage. Listen up. If you have not signed up for natal birth chart reading, I encourage you, do not waste time, get ahead. Every video is that much more intense, relatable, if you're getting your readings behind the scene, and you need to regulate them. Let's become the evidence and proof. Let's not just be here talking and listening. Let's put it into action, put it into practice in our everyday life. The sun is already conjunct Uranus, headed forward towards Gemini. We're at the front door of Gemini, ethereal. Ethereal is a fast motion. It's electrical. Rapid pace. Life accelerates. It gets a little faster. Especially that we're losing some of the drag from Saturn in Pisces that's now making its way out of the water of Pisces into the shores of Aries, initiating the new skill sets that fortifies the authentic identity. What we're in right now is a lightning storm. That is Uranus. We're in a lightning storm. The sun has passed over Uranus, picked up instructions, signed a contract, and now we are under the watchful eye of Shango, Oba Shango, Uranus. Understand? Any minute now, any day now, any week now, without ability to anticipate, predict, or form expectations, executive decisions will be made in favor of your destiny, specifically your heart soul urge. Passing through the lightning storm, you don't know when, and you don't know where the lightning bolt will strike. But when it does, it will be accurate. The overall intention of Uranus is to make sure that your story remains authentic, true to who you are. That you don't get off course with the alignment between the heart, soul, urge, and the life path. Within those limitations is your free will. You make of it what the power of your imagination can muster. We learned enough to know to let go of our urge for control and even predictability. As the North Node is at Pisces and Saturn is on the way out of Pisces, we should have that authority within ourselves the fortification within ourselves to overcome the urge to have so much control. When Saturn passes over a sign or a house, it grants you authority in that sign or house. Competence, discipline, order, structure, rectitude, obedience. It gives you law to adhere to so that you are safe from the consequences of negligence to the law. This is important to understand. Clearing yourself of karmic circumstance. With Saturn at the 29th degree of Pisces, which expresses to see through the eye of God or to comprehend God. At this point, we should be able to see the divine value and intention in every fated experience in our life. seeing that it's bigger than what we feel. It's greater than what we feel entitled to. What's occurring? The meaning behind it, the value behind it, the significance of every event. It is timed. It is measured, proportioned to get us right where we need to be. So when lightning strikes, we know that the point of stability is within the self, not in the circumstances around you. We learn that from Taurus-Uranus transit. Not to put our faith and our confidence in our outer, external, exoteric circumstances. A fortress has to be built within the self, within the fortress of the identity, the destiny, the life path, and what we comprehend of it. That's our only point of stability. It's what we have established within the self, in that identity. There's no other point of stability for us. Not in somebody else's arms, not in money. Not in the status, accolades. None of that holds stability. We learn that all of it can be moved, all of it can fall within the twinkling of an eye. There's only one consistency, one stability. That's the enduring value of the self, which reflects God. Nothing else is consistent. Nothing else is promising. Take everything away from you. You lose everything. You get betrayed. Those you counted on walk off on you. You lose your job. You lose your money, status. Everything you are subject to lose, except yourself. All the way down to the last thread of clothing, the last morsel of bread. The self is where it all begins. And if we take it all away from you today, right now, everything, we take it away and put you in a concrete cell. We let you out later on to see what you will attract back into yourself. You will attract the same thing back into your life, to reflect your heart and your mind and that which you believe to be your reality. That's the point of stability, because no matter what's taken away from you, you will attract again that which you are. That reality will surround you time and time again. There's nothing you can lose. Because nothing is real except the self. I hope you have prepared. I hope you are ready. Alignment could mean losing something, losing someone, changing positions. Alignment could mean sacrifice to have access going forward. Whatever is required for that alignment, we will certainly know when Saturn gets to that first degree of Aries. At that first degree of Aries, it is to initiate the development of skill set. to initiate mastery of an art, a wisdom, a practice, a character, a protocol. And that will be the key to your alignment. 29th degree of Pisces, we're closing up lessons of faith, conviction, sacrifice, seeing God in all things, seeing the unity in all things, ascending to compassion and understanding in our perceptions and our views and interpretations, forgiveness, understanding. We're obviously going to need it. In essence, this fortifies us with a view of God. We see through the eyes of the Heavenly Father when we see through compassion and understanding, when we see through forgiveness. But to rise to such levels, such heights of comprehension and perception, we have to suffer some things. We have to suffer to see through the eyes of God. We have to suffer to see God in all things. That's a matter of the 12th house. So what this is prophesying is that the unconditional love, the power of unconditional love that you have at the 12th house, is what you have to figure out how to platform and deliver out to the people as a wisdom. You will begin that process when Saturn gets to the 1st degree of Aries. The mystery of what that will look like, Uranus holds those details. And we are now in that portal where those details will be revealed over a short period of time. Aries is where we show leadership, is where we show initiative, is where we shoot first. It's the tip of our knife. It's where we have the greatest impact in life. That's where we serve humanity as sons and daughters of Ogun, the god of war. The Aries Chiron transit allowed us to clear our conscience concerning where we have a natural leadership, where naturally we are known or should be known to take initiative at Aries, where we always feel authorized to take action and to initiate any necessary process of creation, which is at Aries. This is where we exemplify Ogun, the god of war, the lord of iron, Mars. Through the Aries North Node transit, while Chiron was also teaching us lessons to restore our self-esteem, our motivation, our faith and belief in ourselves, our trust in ourselves. All of this was necessary to go first as lessons to lay the groundwork of a trustworthy foundation in the identity And what this does is it allows us to create without a burdened conscience, without hesitation, guilt, fear, without emotional codependencies triggering or clouding our judgment. We become decisive. We become clear-headed in the battlefield. It's like a warrior who has to reconcile with the family, with loved ones, before he goes to war. How can you go off to war knowing there are chances that you might not make it home, but you didn't make peace with your loved ones? You didn't make peace with those who you come from. You didn't make peace with the people who laid the foundation of your identity in this life. You're out there in the world, someone who could possibly lose their life at any minute, but you haven't made peace with those who poured into your life in your first days. It just isn't right. But when you can make peace with those who are at your back, peace with those at your foundation, peace with those who help to form your identity, you are that much more formidable in the battlefield, that much more prepared for war because you have a clear conscience. You paid your debts. You made peace. You forgave who needed to be forgiven. Now your courage is a fiery furnace. Your boldness is unstoppable. Your resilience, it has infinite lives. You are a force to be reckoned with. And we learn to overcome the aggression because we learn to identify the pain, address the pain, sit with the pain, heal the pain. Now we're assertive without being aggressive. Now we're ready to win. We're ready. Saturn passing through Aries will give us strength, grit, discipline, a spirit of rectitude and accountability. With this explosive fire, Aries. And what we will accomplish, we will amaze ourselves with the support of Saturn. And what we will realize that we have learned through Chiron is a great deal of new wisdom and philosophy that is medicinal for all of those who we come in contact with. We now have much to offer to heal and support and comfort, to reassure others as we go. Saturn and Neptune in Aries, we will surprise ourselves with the ability to take our visions and to apply a level of discipline, courage, creativity, and character to bring into existence, to construct exactly what we visualize. It could be that it's the first time in our life that we will actually see an immediate transfer of faith into reality. Imagine that. There's a lot going on inside right now emotionally that I can relate to with all of you. And I hope that you can find comfort in knowing that we're in the storm of Uranus, the lightning storm, and very soon you will have a lightning bolt of revelation that's going to clarify one more detail, one more sign, one more shift in position that will give you that much more confidence in where you're going. You don't have to have control. You have to have faith. And you have to have a present attitude. You have to be present. This is not a time of aggressive effort. It's a time of comprehension. It's a time of receptivity. It's a time of receiving the downloads, the clarification, the understanding, the bigger picture. The North Node is at Pisces. We are receiving through faith, through vision, through creativity. We're giving grace right now to develop the power of creativity within ourselves. We have to encourage ourselves. Keep our garment clean. What I mean by that is watch your character. Keep your life clean. Avoid confusion, burdens, troubles, any toxic situations. Now is the time to keep your conscience clear, your mind clear, your head focused, and developing and bringing in new vision. Maximize your vision. Clarify your vision. Color your vision. Do whatever you have to do to inspire yourself, to uplift yourself every single day. Stay in a place of creativity. Stay in a creative mind. Stay in the childlike mind of creativity. That is the greatest thing that you can do for yourself. Reconnect to what you love to do, what you love to experience, what gives you joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment in creating every day, and lean into it, nurture it. There are many forces that are standing by to support you in making it a reality. What you see around you is not the limitation of your circumstance. It's from whence your new reality will evolve from. Some things have to dissolve for other things to form. And some things have to transform forms as you create a new reality. And transformation can sometimes look like losses. The way that you relate to a certain energy, it will dissolve the form that it is with you. But you have to trust that it's going to take a new form of a greater value, but from the same essence. That's how Pisces works. That's how Neptune works. And Neptune is in Aries, and it will have everything to do with your identity. What you are taking action, a leadership action upon. Uranus is concentrating on the heart, soul, urge expression. This is numerology. This is something that you should understand at this point. If you don't, you should be scheduling for the natal birth chart readings. Get caught up. You don't want to guess. If you have heart, soul, urge, example, number 1, Uranus is going to align you with greater responsibilities of leadership and duty, influence at the 10th house, the 8th house, and the 11th house. If you look at the heart, soul, urge, number 2, our nurturers, Uranus is going to align you with leadership concerning matters of nurturing at the 4th house, the 12th house, 7th house, 8th, 10th, or 11th. 2 is very diverse. This is lunar. It also secondarily goes with Neptune. Faith, nurturing, compassion, selflessness, the ability to relate to others' pain and suffering. Your water houses, your water signs, Uranus is going to have a significant shift in your water placements. But the Aries is where, or should I say how, okay? The hosting house of your Aries placement is how you will take leadership in that energy. The number 3s out there, creativity. This usually goes with Aquarius and also 8th house matters. That is 11th house and 8th house matters. For those who carry the heart, soul, urge, number 3, creativity is what Uranus is going to align you with as a problem solver. Someone who finds solutions, troubleshoots, brings confidence or restores confidence in chaotic circumstances through the power of Jupiter and the fire signs. You will be aligned with that leadership. The number 4s out there, logistics, the material realm, order, structure, and the earth placements, you will be called to show leadership. It is through the earth signs and earth placements that you will be expected to rise higher. There's always sacrifice somewhere to get to another point, so let's not panic if a sacrifice is taken from us. Know that. The number 5s out there, you are an influencer, the charismatic, the good looking. Know a little of this and a little of that. You love to read. You love to learn new things of religious and spiritual or conspiracy matters. You used to suffer under your own beauty. You used to suffer under your own charm. You used to suffer to your own charisma. And the consequences of not knowing or understanding the vices of Venus. But you learned it. And because you learned it, you now will guide others who are stuck on the other side of the burning bridge. And you will help them as the Hierophant to cross that bridge, showing them that discipline is the only way out. Accountability is the only way out. Commitment is the only way out. The number 6s out there, these are the sacrificial lambs. Okay? They're always looking for where great stewardship can be shown. They're always looking for where can I pick up the burden of stewardship. When nobody else cares, I'm going to care. And as long as I have, you have. Learning how to say no was your greatest challenge. Number 6 is you struggled against guilt. People held guilt against you, made you feel bad, made you feel sad for saying no. Abundance always follows you in your life because God is always blessing you for being so giving, so sharing. You will sacrifice everything. You will give your own blood, your own breath to see others happy, secure, and content. And to learn to say no in your life was the greatest struggle of all without feeling guilty. God doesn't want you to be exploited, abused, used, taken advantage of. You learn these things. You freed up your subconscious of the guilt that others put on you for their own benefit. But now you will be called to domestic affairs to show leadership. There are some of those out there who need advocacy, who need a mothering spirit that they can trust, or a fatherly spirit that they can trust. And you are the steward of God's resources in domestic crisis. And those resources includes wisdom, care, nurturing, supplies, money, a warm home, or wisdom to govern a home with justice and care, sensitivity and fairness. You are the king or queen of morals, of moral judgment. Not ethics, but morals. You are the one who defends culture, good culture, and you defend it by demonstrating it everywhere you go, weighing against the darkness that took over many other people's conscience, sparking the light in the conscience of other people so that they could have a conscience and get closer to compassion, sympathy, empathy. You feel the suffering, the hunger, the longing of others. And because of that, God is always blessing you. Uranus is going to put you in position to where that wisdom, that experience, it will serve humanity in a way that upholds the kingdom of God. Understand. Number 7's out there. You are the dissolver of the illusions in life. Through knowledge, you reveal where the truth is hidden, where the true story and true narrative has been hidden. You expose the structures, the forms, the infrastructures that hides the real reality underneath. You are not ruled or controlled by the impulses of fear, limitations, conformity, social agreements, conspiracies. You are the one who stands out of the matrix, guiding others in and out of the matrix to find their way. You see where value really is, because you see what the essence of all things really is. And you see that from the essence, everything takes form. And you see that from form, everything dissolves to go back to the essence of what it is. Therefore, nothing is new under the sun, and it is the seven who knows that nothing new is under the sun, or nothing under the sun is new. It is you who knows that. But we walk around life impressed by new forms that things take. But in truth, nothing is new. They are simply different forms that we've yet to comprehend. God is going to align you to show others where the illusions are at. God is going to align you to help others to see through the eyes of God and to see God in all things. That there is a unity in all things. There's no separation, there's no division, it's all an illusion. There's a oneness, there's a unity, there's a commonality in everything. As one is pointing at the other, they are the one that they're pointing at. And you're here to show us that. You are the dissolver, you are Neptune, the purifier. For all of us who are contaminated by the world, the brainwashing, the social engineering, you are the one who purifies us and baptizes us out of that crisis. And you will be aligned to save us from that. Number sevens. The 12th house, the water placements, Pisces. That is where Uranus is going to make a significant change in your life that aligns you with greater responsibility and leadership with what you suffered to understand through Neptune and Pisces themes. Understand? For those out there, number 8s, the people of enterprise, Capricorn, the devil card, the Ahriman, corruption, temptation, temptation with power, temptation with wealth, and the price of souls. You are someone who knows the price of a soul and that it is priceless. But you know what people are willing to pay for the price of a soul. You know how much it costs to try to get your soul back. Number 8s. You also know levels of strength that no one else is capable of, not even a Leo. You endure the processes that makes everything last. You endure the details that preserves the foundation, the infrastructure, the integrity of anything that we ought to put our trust in. You are the spirit of rectitude. The militant figure. The militant figure who examines the infrastructure of all things. Will this last? Can this stand? Can this endure? What are the numbers, the facts, the figures? The integrity of everything. What character is required to obtain this or obtain that? You have a capability of knowing how to move through all of the tedious, boring, difficult, complicated processes that moves authority. Anyone who wants to move power, anyone who wants to use power, it is the number 8 who you have to consult. if you want to move power. Not because the number 8 is the one who represents power, but the number 8 is the one who represents authority. How to obtain authority, how to walk with authority, how to develop authority, how to exemplify authority. The number 8. It is through you that we learn how to move power, because we can only move power with authority. You teach us that. Power is to make consequence. It is to make effect, an outcome, change, to make consequence. No matter what we want to do with our power, if we don't want to go to jail, if we don't want to sell our soul, if we don't want to break the laws of Olodumare, the Most High, God, Jah, Allah, Rastafari, however you want to say his name, you have to have the authority, the jurisdiction to do so. And it's the 8 that grounds us to that understanding. And all of the things that we're not willing to do to move power with authority, the things that we are not willing to do to be authorized. Uranus is going to put you in position to share your competence, your wisdom, your spirit of rectitude, to create and bring in new infrastructure that matches the intention of Aquarius Pluto reality. So the number 8 not only exemplify Saturn of Capricorn, but also Saturn of Aquarius. You are now taking an outer ring disposition. Therefore, any person of number 8 will now have influence of Uranus in all things that they do. Infrastructure will now have the influence of Uranus with all things. Innovation of infrastructure. Innovation of process. And what this comes from is you learn to think this way because the infrastructure that we are used to, it has been dismantled as Pluto left out of Capricorn. And now that Pluto is in Aquarius, it is the Aquarian algorithm of Saturn that the number 8s are now going to take an exemplification of. Therefore, innovation goes with the infrastructure of number 8s. Understand? Number 9s. All of you number 9s out there, you are the prophets, the messengers, the high priest, the high priestess, the Babalao, Yanla, the oracles, the diviners, the healers, the light workers, the teachers, the guides, the mentors. You are the spirits of the 9th house, the guardians of the 11th house. Through the fire of Sagittarius, you will spread faith, conviction. You will be the oracle that gives insight and guidance to those in spiritual crisis with themselves, those who are in character predicaments, those who need a fatherly influence over their life, those who need a motherly influence over their life. You are the grandmothers and grandfathers of humanity. And Uranus is going to position you to be a grandfather or grandmother to a community that really needs your influence, your example, your leadership, your protection. There are many ways to protect, and one ways that the number 9 protects is by giving wisdom. You are the people of wisdom, spiritual wisdom, moral and cultural wisdom. You relate to all frequencies. The 1s, the 2s, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the masters. The number 9 is the one who relates to all. All frequencies. The number 9s live many lives in one lifetime. You've been through it all and you have seen it all. There is nothing that you have not experienced. There's nothing that you haven't suffered. Much is expected of you, which is why you had to go through so much. Why your life was a little more painful than others, a little more difficult. You felt a little more oppressed, suppressed, burdened. Always have to be the bigger person because you always understood things that most do not understand. The grandmother and the grandfather is detached from its grandbabies. But that detachment is what allows the grandmother and grandfather to administer perfect love. Perfect love. When we are attached, we cannot understand who and what we are attached to. When we are detached, now we have the ability to arrive at understanding because there is connection, comprehending and circumferencing the view around them. Giving wisdom and advice and guidance that serves as a beacon in a storm. That is you, the number 9. You are God's trustee, the voice of reason, the center between the head and the heart, the messenger who speaks on behalf of God. You are the voice of the Most High, the shepherd of the sheep. Karma always strikes you faster than others. And really, that is just protection. Because much is invested in you and it cannot be spoiled. So you are protected. Even with swift justice and punishment for those things that you do that you know better. But now you understand what your calling is. It is a high position. And you will be shown the sheep that you must shepherd. It will require compassion and patience, humility, understanding, forgiveness, love. For the 11s out there, you've gone through many crises concerning competition, envy, jealousy, relationship turmoil, the crisis between the 1 and the 2, leadership, and relating. You can't relate if you never walked in their shoes. But in particular, in the theme of relationships, in the theme of competitiveness, the 11s out there, you are masters. And as a number 11, 3 or more is your crowd. You are meant to manage projects that requires sensitivity, personal connection, Projects that includes individuals who utilize intuition and sensitivity, healthy relationship connections, integrity between others in order to get the greatest result. Creating a family away from home and environments where people process procedures, longer hours there than they are at home. You create the structure emotionally through culture, sensitivity to the emotional needs of others, advocacy, while keeping pace with massive workloads, processes, and procedures that remains competitive. It's very sophisticated what you are called to do. But if you remember all that you suffered, you are more than able because you were prepared for it. You know how to remain focused when you're hurting. You know how to step outside of yourself even when others take personal attacks on you. You take the bird's eye view. Oh, this is a person who's ruled with envy, jealousy, competition, pain, suffering, so on and so forth. Your ability to step outside of the personal dynamics of that in order to manage a greater outcome that benefits the whole and not just yourself. This is a particular skill, a talent that very few have. And Uranus is going to line you up with a life that gives you fulfillment and realizing yourself as that person. Mentorship. Mentorship through projects of enterprise and or competition. Understand. Be prepared for that. Believe in yourself. Uranus is going to have a significant change to your sun placement, your lunar placement, as well as Neptune to bring this in. Understand, there certainly will be the 11th house or Aquarius, as well as the 12th house. Understand. For those out there, the 22s, South Node is at Virgo. The 22's in a special position, and that karma is moving for the next 16 months now at the South Node, bearing the 22 vibration. This is also the case for the number 9 vibrations with number 9s, might I add. But the 22 is asking you to rise higher into mastery, which is give less focus to what you're so good at. Give less focus to what you know to be so right. You rely on your earth talent, that number 4 energy that helps you to so easily recognize patterns in physical matters, material, logistics, even patterns of behavior. You're able to listen to concepts, ideas, and simplify them into an order of steps that manifest the idea into a sharp reality. No one is more complex than you. And you hold a great deal of authority, grit, aggression, assertiveness, leadership, confidence, initiative. You are the left-handed disposition. And the left-handed disposition, mathematics, is your nature. But what you're learning is that there's more to the picture than the mathematics. There's more to it than the physical logistics of things. And everybody doesn't have a photographic memory like you. Everybody can't watch somebody tear down a transmission one time, name every bolt, name every wire, name every tool and step and procedure, and throw the transmission back in. That's a gift that you have. And you're learning that you have to have patience and have humility with those who are not given such a high faculty in the physical realm. You're learning not to be so arrogant and insensitive to others who are not so physically inclined. You're a master with doing hair, with cutting hair, with styling hair, with fixing cars, with building houses, with anything of the physical realm. You are a master. Nobody can do it better than you. But what do we know about perfection? Prophet Muhammad had received wahi, or revelation, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which was the finality of the Holy Quran, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I have now completed the religion for you and I've called it Islam, which basically indicates that God has evolved the Abrahamic religions over time, and he finalized it with Islam, which verifies that there is a unity in all of the books that were revealed. Okay, it is not true that Muslims or the Holy Quran is in contradiction to Christianity, Jesus, the Bible, the Gospel, the Old Testament, or whichever else. No, it was all evolved. It is one family. It is one revelation in stages, and the finality of that was the Holy Quran through Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I have now completed my favor on you and I've called it Islam. And so the companion of Prophet Muhammad, his name was Umar bin Khattab. If I say it slow, Umar bin Khattab, okay, you can read about this yourself. Umar began to weep. He began to cry. And the people asked Umar, this is a great time. This is a time where we celebrate that Allah has completed his favor on us and given us Islam. Why do you weep, Umar bin Khattab? And Umar bin Khattab wept that he said, we have reached perfection. And I know that the only thing after perfection is to maintain. And I fear that the people will not be able to maintain. Now is there wisdom in that? This goes with the number 22. You were given perfection in your capabilities, in your power in life, your authority in life. You walk the earth with perfection. But don't get it twisted. The only thing after perfection is to maintain. So anything perfect that is not maintained, it then begins to decline. You cannot go up further after perfection. You can only go down further after perfection. That's the reality, the scary reality of the number 22. So there's a dual situation with the 22. It's good, but is it really good? It's a trust. It's a trust. You're already born at completion. You're born at perfection. And you felt it and you've seen it all your life. Somebody hands you a project to do, you master it effortlessly. You don't even have to practice. What does a person like that, looking from the outside in, you already have it all together? No, not really. Because you can decline from there. And the decline will be from your own heart. The callous of your heart, the arrogance of your heart. You will eat your own organs alive. The condescent and looking down upon others. The impatience that you have with others. The forgetfulness that every person comes in different levels and capacities in life. And yours is not superior. Theirs is not inferior. You just have different roles to play, different aims in life. Consider that. The 22 takes place at the axis of Virgo and Pisces. For any person who's the 22, because you're born at perfection, you have to dissolve in that life. That is why usually there is a moon at the Pisces placement, or there is a water sign at significant positions such as North Node for the 22. That is a dissolver. Order has to meet chaos to find innovation. Chaos has to find order. That's the duality. So being that you are at the perfection of order, you have to dissolve to chaos in order to learn innovation. The 22 is a master of the Capricorn and Earth energy. But the innovation has to come through Uranus in the outer ring of Saturn, Aquarius. And this is what you have to learn. But first, there has to be a dissolve through the water energies, Luna, or any one of the 3 water placements. Without the dissolve, you do not get to advance, grow, ascend, perfect. There's no innovation because you're already at perfection. And that dissolve looks like acceptance, humility, faith, surrender to chaos. The chaos of others, the chaos of circumstance, the chaos of fated experiences throughout your life, circumstances, situations, and people where you cannot have control, where you walk the life saying, if only I could have control over this, if only I could have control over that. You are not meant to have full control in the life of the 22 in certain things, because something has to serve as a catalyst to further educate you into the comprehension of the vastness of spirituality. The vastness of spirituality can engulf and consume everything that you think you know about life, about the world, about especially the physical realm. Those waters will swallow every detail, every drop of that up. And it will have you to curl yourself in a ball like a baby and say, damn, I don't know shit. I don't know a motherfucking thing. I don't know nothing. That's the power that God has to show you that when you think you know everything, when you think that you're good at everything, think again. I can show you some shit that'll blow your fucking mind. And it comes in ways that you can never comprehend. And that's through the waters of Pisces. Pisces will engulf your ass if you're not humble. It will drown your ass if you don't have humility. So the number 22s are trusted to bring humility and acceptance, to not create division, separation, chastisement, abuse, overbearance, harshness, impatience, intolerance. No, you got to dissolve all that. And you have to go to Pisces to obtain those attributes of tolerance, forbearance, forgiveness, humility, patience, goodwill. And what ends up happening is people trust you with their visions. People trust you to open up to you. And what you're going to find is why you were sent to Earth. You weren't sent here to show everybody what you could do. You wasn't sent here to build 30 houses and say, oh, look what I built. I did it all by my fucking self. No, that's not why you were sent here. You were sent here to listen to people who struggle to articulate what they want to create. You were sent here to help people who struggle to understand, hey, I want to accomplish this project, but I don't know where to start. I really want to build this, but I don't know what to do. I want to make this thing that goes like this, but it doesn't go like that. But then I needed to do this, but I don't need it to do that. They don't know how to articulate. They don't know how to explain it. They don't know how to tell you. But you, the 22, you can listen to them explain that, and you know exactly what they're talking about, and you can even have the ability to build it, to create it, to bring it into existence. This reminds me of the story of Suleiman or Solomon, okay? And according to the Holy Quran, King Solomon, he was preparing what was called the hoopoe. And he sent the hoopoe, which is a bird, to scout out a territory. And he came across Sheba's land, Queen Sheba. And the hoopoe came back and said, hey, there's a woman ruling her own queendom. I just peeped it. And Solomon was like, if you lying to me, I will hamstring your ass and I will cook you. I mean, really, you can read this in the Holy Quran. And so he said, you better be telling me the truth. So he got all the data and logistics about her land. And he was trying to plan out with his counsel on how to imitate it. Okay? So he sent the letter over them. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I am King Solomon. I come in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful. And he was, making a diplomatic letter. In other words, in a peaceful diplomatic way, he was saying, we over here, either you get down with us or you get ran over. You know what I'm saying? Basically that type of thing. And so he wanted to demonstrate his power. And so he said to his council, I want to replicate her queendom. And then I'm going to invite her over here to visit a replication of her queendom right on my land. And I know that'll blow her mind. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that. Imagine I'm living in, for example, let's say I'm living in Brooklyn, right? And a bird went over to Queens and said, yo, it's a lady ruling over Queens over there. I was like, what? So I'd be like, yeah. So, I sent the letter over there. Listen, either you get down or you get ran over. So then I get with my council. I'm like, yo, listen, I need you to build a whole Queens. You know what I'm saying? Southside Queens. Build it right over here to look exactly like Southside Queens. I'm going to have her come over here and she going to think she in Queens, but she really in my shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what King Solomon did. You feel me? And so there was what was called jinn, Jinn, okay? These are spirits made of fire. According to the Holy Quran, Lucifer was a jinn, not an angel, okay? That's, Islamic theology, whatever. But, anyway, the jinn are spirits made of fire. Plural is genie, okay? Genie in the lamp, okay? You get it? There you go. So, jinn, they obviously make wishes come true, okay? Spirits of fire, we know the fire goes with what? Creativity. There you go, okay? These are the 3 fire points. Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Now, anyway, without going down that, that rabbit hole, there was a jinn specifically who was called Ifrit. Ifrit, okay? Ifrit. Ifrit. Ifrit is a very powerful jinn. Very powerful. And this had a lot to do with the ring that King Solomon had, which the ring read, and this too shall pass, okay? This too shall pass. But anyway, the Ifrit asked King Solomon, I can build it for you. And he said, I will do it. And then the Ifrit, a jinn asked him, said, I will build it for you. And then the Ifrit stepped forward and said, guess what? I'll build it for you in the twinkling of an eye. Imagine that, in the twinkling of an eye. You got a class of jinn who said they'll build it. And then you have the Ifrit who said, I'll build it in the twinkling of an eye. Imagine that. So King Solomon let them build it. And he invited Queen Sheba over. And Queen Sheba came over there. And he had everything laid out, the same metrics as her palace. And in her palace, there was a pond. No, not a pond. What do you call that? When you got the water and the little sprinkle, a fountain. She had a fountain, like a large fountain at the front of the court. Okay, and the fountain had shallow water that you would walk across. So she thought she was walking across water, but guess what? It was polished marble. The marble was polished so well that she thought it was water. She pulled up her skirt because she thought she was about to step in the water. This is in the Holy Quran. You can read it yourself. Come on, man. So she walked across and she was stunned, at all of this. Like, damn, this nigga built my whole shit and he ain't never even went over there. You know what I mean? And so anyway, I'm saying that to say, the 22 is just like that Ifrit. Okay? You got jinn, which are fire signs, who could do it. People who have strong fire placements, they could create anything. They're very creative. They're original. All right? They don't need to copy none. They're very original. They're creative. They're very good with physical things as well. And earth things. But the Ifrit is the advanced, the mastery of such. That's like the 22, where you could do it in the twinkling of an eye, while everybody else might take, 5 days to, to take the engine out. The 22 can do it in a half of a day, because 22s have a special trait about themselves where if you show them, okay, this is how it works in mechanics. I'm a blue collar guy, a carpenter. I'm a mechanic. I work on cars too. You know what I'm saying? I do all that stuff. I'm like the original manly man. You heard? I got calluses on my hand, all that shit. All right. That's how I was raised. So, I know this is what I know in my little world. When you know the name of shit, life is easier for you when you are a blue collar person. All right. When you can remember the names of things. All right. So, this is for example, that's not a drill, that's an impact. You see what I'm saying? That's a hammer drill, that's an impact. That's a sawzall, okay? I need a 3/4 socket, you know what I mean? I need 11/16 socket, all right? I need a 7mm, I need a star bit, you feel me? I need a Phillips screwdriver, all right? I need a 2-ton pallet jack, shit like that. I need a high vanadium nail, 16 penny nail. I need a double head nail. All right. Give me a square. Give me a level. Right. So when you don't know the names of things, stuff is is complicated. Give me one of those things, the things that look like, it look like that, but it ain't like that. No, the bigger one, the little one. You can't be talking like that. How the fuck you gonna be talking like that and you building shit? You know what I'm saying? You fucking shit up now. So when you remember the names of things, it's easier to manage and control the physical realm. Okay? This goes back to, for example, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he created Adam, and he said to the angels, he said, name these things if you are truthful. Come on. He said, name these things if you are truthful. And the angels could not name it. They said, glory be to you, Allah. We cannot name anything except for what you have told us or taught us. So he asked Adam the same thing in front of them. Say, all right, check this out. Yo, Adam, name all these things. Adam named everything, because Allah designed him to do that. All right. So the 22 is just like Adam. And that's what made Adam a master of the earth, a vicegerent of the earth, is a fact that he was able to name everything. You can't name everything if you don't know what the fuck it is. Yeah. You got to know the nature of it. That's like, for example, the dictionary and etymology, okay? People think that the dictionary is how you find the meaning of a word. No, it's not. You don't know the meaning of a word by dictionary. You know the meaning of a word by etymology, okay? Let's get that right. And etymology helps you to understand the root words and the words of origins that forms that word, which tells you the nature of what's being named. Okay? The nature lets you know what its aim, what its purpose is, what it do, what it don't do, whatever else. Okay? 22s have this natural capability of remembering what different things are named, the proper names of things. 22s do not forget the proper names of things, the classification of things, the orders of things. And this is what makes them so advanced. Everybody don't have that ability. And the 22s have to understand that. The 22s have to learn how to relate to Pisces more than anything in life, because Pisces is where the name of things dissolve, because it goes back to the essence. That's a screw, that's a bolt, that's a socket. But in essence, it's metal. You see how that works? The form is the screw, the bolt, the socket, but the essence is metal. So you dissolve the bolt, the screw, the socket down to its essence, the metal. Now what can it become? I have metal. What can I make of it now? That is what the 22 has to learn, to dissolve the form of things, to comprehend the possibility of things through the power of innovation and Uranus and the outer rings of Saturn. That's what the 22 has to learn. But you can't learn that from yourself. You have to learn that by listening to others, who are stuck at the door of Pisces, where they want to bring the essence of an idea into form, but they don't know what form to bring it into. And that is where you get to realize your purpose in nature and why the fuck you came to earth like that. So without other people, you will suffer. Without listening to other people, you will never know what your life means. Look at that. You are at the mercy of others' need of you. Yeah. You are at the mercy of other people's Pisces predicaments. Other people's Pisces predicament looks like they have the input. For example, when a person has a stellium in Pisces, they have all these impulses that they can't articulate. They can't explain. It's like ADD. I wanna, but I can't explain it. Just, I wanted this, I wanted that, they don't get it. But if you walk with a 22, that 22 will help that Pisces stellium person to articulate and explain and express the things that they're trying to say or explain into a form or a name, a classification, where they can identify it and give it form and comprehend it. You see, that's where the 22 comes in at. So the 22 is supposed to surround itself with people who have Pisces stelliums, where they can't explain how to get this out of Pisces into Aries. That's what the 22 does. The 22 helps people to move impulses out of Pisces into Aries. And to move an impulse out of Pisces into Aries, you're moving a concept, an idea into a reality that you struggle to articulate and clarify. That's where we all at right now. Saturn's at the 29th degree of Pisces. That's what we all going through. We're struggling to articulate, clarify, name, classify that which we are what we realize we are to live out as a reality. But the 22 can listen to these ideas, and they very easily can point you in the direction of what form or what concept to take with this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They're a master of the physical realm. It's like the axis of the 12th and 6th house. The 22 is a master of the 6th house, but they have to go to the 12th house to get work. You see what I'm saying? So if you stand there at the 6th house twiddling your thumb because you already mastered all that, you got to go to the 12th house to get more work. You go to the 12th house, you got mad people screaming with tickets. Yo, I need to build this. Yo, I need to create this. Yo, I need to do this. I need to do that. But none of them can explain what it is that they're trying to do. But the 22 understands because they're able to catch to the, intuitively to what they're struggling to explain as a concept. And the 22 has all the names in their head. They got all the definitions in their head. They have all the terminology in their head that other people on common level cannot explain. They know what a 3/4 socket is. They know what a star bit is. They know what this is. They know what that. Oh, you're looking for this. Oh, you're looking for that. It's like when you go to a supply shop. You know what I'm saying? You go to a hardware shop and you got a little part in your hand. You say, hey man, you got one of these? Oh yeah. I know what that is. Yeah, that's a that's a 3/4 star bit. Yeah, right over here. You know what I'm saying? And he know the names of all the parts. He know the names of all the stuff. Oh yeah, that's a math sensor. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you need that. Here, then you also need this to go with it. You know what I mean? Shit you don't even know. They're able to tell you all that shit. You know what I mean? You go in there and you like, hey, I hear this knocking sound in the car. I don't know what it is, man. And it just keeps knocking every time. Oh, yeah, no problem. That means you're low on oil. Yeah, your rocker's knocking. Yeah, you're low on oil. Or you got a rocker loose. Yeah, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's the 22. Oh, I hope I explained that right. You know what I mean? Let me know if I made a mess or if I really articulated that right. But anyway. Questions, comments, concern, all the other stuff, you know what I mean, down below. Come on, participate, help the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Don't let me just be up here wasting my time, you know what I'm saying? Show me support, show me help. The best way you can continue to support me and help me, fill the comment section up, you know what I mean? Hit the like button, stimulate the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely shadow banned, so when videos come out, they don't let my videos be seen. They don't let my videos move around. They don't let it hit the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? They don't let my videos be noticed that, oh, he dropped a new video. Now they trying to slow me down and stagger me. You know what I mean? But you have the power to fight that. You have the power to help me out with that by hitting the like button. By you know what I'm saying, getting busy in the comment section, all the other stuff, show your appreciation for whatever it is that you learned, received, heard, or whatever else, things like that. You know what I mean? It takes all of us to work together, you know what I'm saying, to make something good grow. You know what I mean? I can't do it by my fucking self. You heard? So anyway, thank you for listening. All that. Schedule for your readings. Do not delay. Schedule for your readings. And you got to regulate those readings, because we have to become the evidence of proof of what it is that we're here learning, of what we're here to, exemplify and demonstrate. It's not just for sport. We got to be the living proof.